Well, let's get into our team selection then for the game, because that does feel like it's going to be a large part of the talking points around the game. Alisson Becker in goal, are we agreed on that one, guys?
No, it's Kelleher.
Yeah, I think it will be Kelleher as well, to be honest. I think he's earned his opportunity in the FA Cup. I think he's a more reliable backup, isn't he, than Adrian? You feel less concerned maybe about throwing him in. Good experience for him. You've got to give him something, haven't you, to sort of encourage him to stick around the squad and sort of really feel like he's involved. So I think he's earned a start.
Yep.
Matt, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think it would be harsh not to play him, but I'm going to be harsh. I'm going to put Alisson in. As I say, I think this is a big game for Liverpool. I think you have to sort of give Alisson the job, really. I think it's one that, yeah, I think it's really important, as I say, in terms of the mood, in terms of the whole season. It's Manchester United, and I'd be going certainly with Alisson in goal. There will be one or two changes in my team, but it's going to broadly look like a Premier League game to me.
Yeah, I'm inclined to
his career
that, but
you've ruined his career there, honestly.
The majority rules. Kelleher in goal for us then. Doyley, back four? Let you go on this.
The back four will be Nico Williams at right back. It will be Kostas, the unseen Tsimikas at left back. And the centre-backs will depend on one of them will be Fabinho. And the other one, if Henderson's fit, he'll be the other centre-back. If he's not fit, it'll be Nat Phillips.
I get, obviously, the Spurs game is coming up in midweek, but the Trent selection, David, regarding that and him being dropped, I know it's a cup game and therefore maybe the same sort of thinking with Kelleher, but will it serve as somewhat of a wake-up call to Trent as well? He's not been in good form for a little while now.
No, he's been struggling, hasn't he? I think, you do wonder, don't you, the sort of impact of the period he spent out. And I know the manager's touched on that that Trent had basically had a positive COVID test, hadn't he? And basically we don't know what the sort of, physical toll that takes on a footballer. I know some players have suffered with that, and I don't want to, just speculate on that, but he has been so sort of out of sorts recently that it only makes you wonder if he's maybe feeling the toll of that. So I think a rest would maybe be good for him, and you just hope he can get back to that soon. But if he doesn't play, then a good opportunity for Nico Williams. And I saw he did an interview, didn't he, today, and that was quite interesting what he said in that, sort of facing up to some of the criticism he's faced. So it'd be quite nice to see him back in the team and playing well, because he's a big talent as well.
Would you go along with Doyley in resting Matip as well?
Yeah, I think you've got to be very careful with Matip. It's like I said earlier, if you could guarantee that you'll get 15 games together out of Matip and Fabinho for the remainder of the season, I think you wouldn't worry too much about Liverpool and where they finish in the Premier League. So I think you just got to be very careful with him in the cup competitions and maybe just hold him back till you get a bit further on. I think the thing I would maybe change is maybe go with Rhys Williams over Nat Phillips. I just think Nat Phillips is more one that Klopp has maybe relied on against physical teams, where I think, obviously we know that United are maybe more of a team who are mobile, so I would maybe put him in there. But obviously, I suppose Doyley said it would maybe be Henderson, didn't he, actually? So, that could be an option if he's fit, I suppose. And I think he will have that in his mind, that he'll want someone who is mobile there. So that's why I would sort of push against maybe Nat Phillips maybe starting it.
Fair enough. Matt, what about the midfield?
Yeah, midfield is where I'm going to make changes. I think I broadly agree with the guys. I think Trent will play at right back, and it'll be a fairly stable defence. In midfield, I'm going to sort of change it up a little bit. I'm going to bring James Milner in. I'm going to start Wijnaldum as the deeper player and have Curtis Jones in there as well. So, that's assuming that if Henderson plays, he will be at centre-back, and I'm just going to take Thiago Alcantara out of the mix, which I'm sure won't be very popular, but I just think he did struggle a little bit for me last night. And I think with a few of these players, you don't want to play too many games in a row, considering the run coming up. So, yeah, I think there's a chance to change it up in this game, and I think that comes in midfield.
Do you go along with that, Doyley?
I am going for a different formation. I'm going for 4-1-5. No, not really. 4-2-3-1. I'm going to have.
Where's that been?
Sorry,
where's that been since City away? Eh?
Well, I don't know. No, that was 4-2-4 anyway. 4-2-4 against City.
True.
Yeah, more 4-4-2 actually. 4-2-3-1, and it'll be James Milner and Thiago as the two. I think Thiago needs to just keep on playing now, to be honest. He needs to get used to playing with these players. And the one, in terms of just behind the front three, which can come to in a bit, be Curtis Jones. He can play in the number 10.
Interesting. David, what's your midfield looking like?
Yeah, I think we've seen in the past couple of games. I think Thiago has started really well and faded a little, and that's no criticism of him. He's obviously lacking a little bit in fitness because he's had such a disrupted season. He's only just sort of getting back into his stride. So I think maybe you leave him out with this one with the next game in mind. And I think the midfield there of Milner, you bring him in. He's someone who's a real leader in there. That would be good to get him in, particularly in the run they're in at the moment. And then I think I agree with Matt. I think it's just the same midfield was Wijnaldum and then maybe Curtis Jones. I think it's time to get Curtis Jones back in there. I think he's been unfortunate to sort of been missing out on the team recently. I think he's played really well this season, given the opportunity, and he'd absolutely love to be back in the team for this one when he Manchester United away and try and make an impact on it. So yeah, I think I'll go with that midfield.
I'll stay with you, David. You can lead us on the front three.
Yeah, so I think because of Firmino and Salah not starting the last one, they would maybe come into that front three and hopefully get a bit of form back. And then on the left hand side, if he does feel like Mane needs a rest, then maybe it's one to start Minamino out there. I think his best game for Liverpool is that one he scored in against Palace, and he sort of started out on that left hand side. I think that's a position that probably suits him best. His only problem is that Sadio Mane and Diogo Jota both play there, so he's not really going to get a lot of opportunities in that position. But I think this would be a good chance for him if he could come into that front three and maybe give Mane a rest, and if you need him, he's on the bench.
Matt, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I'd go along with that. I think I agree completely. I think it's pretty certain that we see Salah and Firmino from the start. The question mark really is just over Sadio Mane. I think we see him at some point. It's just a case of, does he play the first hour or so, or does he come off the bench? I'm tempted to sort of use him off the bench and do what I think Jurgen Klopp was trying with Salah and Firmino last night against Burnley, in that it gives you an option to change it up. And we know that Liverpool haven't been scoring loads of late goals and stuff like that. So I think the idea behind that was to keep a couple of players in reserve. So it's a toss-up between do you keep him in or do you not? I think I'm gonna stick with him. I'm gonna play Mane and go with the front three, but I think there's certainly a good argument there to play Minamino instead and save Mane as you go-to option, the first sub off the bench.
Not scoring late goals, Matt. Not scoring any goals at all. That's the issue right now.
I did say that.
Yeah. Doyley, what about the forward three?
Oh, it'll be the three came off the bench against whichever team they played on Thursday. I've forgotten. Where was I? Who were they? Burnley. It was Burnley. Yeah, it was so it's basically Salah, Firmino, and Minamino. Minamino on the left in the 4-2-3-1, which means that it'll be, as I say, Curtis Jones in behind Firmino. I just think it'd be interesting. Just wait until we get to the score predictions. That's all I'm waiting for now.
Well, what's the score going to be then?
Do me last. Right. It's worth it.
Right, Matt, you're up first. Score prediction.
Oh, great. I am going to. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to be.
They've lost. He's got them losing. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. You can't say they can get beat,
I'm desperately trying to find some up. No, I'm going to go 2-1 Manchester United.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
I was going to say the same result. To be honest, I think it'd be nice if Liverpool got a goal, because I think that would sort of just give them a little confidence boost in and of itself. But I think Manchester United, the confidence they've got, the threat from set pieces, they've got, Fernandes in the form of his life, even though he's not a world-class player. According to Doyley,
he's not.
Yeah, I just think they've got enough about them to beat Liverpool on their own patch. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 defeat, unfortunately.
And Doyley, all hope rests with you.
Well, let's not forget that Manchester United lost 6-1 at home to Tottenham, and they also beat Leeds 6-2. Was it 6-2? 6-2 or 6-2, wasn't it? Yeah. 6-2 at home. So it's not going to be 6-2. Don't worry. It's not that crazy. Yeah, I reckon it's gonna be a slightly odd game. I think it's gonna be 2-2, and I think Liverpool will win on penalties. There you go.
Not as mad as I thought you were initially going to go there, leading towards. I thought you were going to say 4-2 or something like that.
Well, to be fair, I've seen 2 7-2s this season and a 7-0 and a 4-3. So whatever happens, I'll just be like, yeah, whatever. What's the 13th goal going in? Yeah, all right, okay, yeah. I'll just make
Doyley was reporting on that Boxing Day games that you referred to earlier as well.
That'll be it.
Is it straight to penalties or is there extra time?
No, it takes extra time. Come on, you're an Arsenal fan. Arsenal beat
of course.
Newcastle.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, stick with us on the Liverpool Echo ahead of the game, post-match. Of course, here on Blood Red as well, we will have the debrief straight after the game. But from myself, Guy Clark, Matt Addison, David Lynch and Ian Doyle, Liverpool right now with no transfers, contracts running down and a lack of goals, could say they're facing the perfect storm. The message, though, walk on.